Actually, just did it.
I guess I'm live. Can anyone hear me? Can you at least text or comment? You can hear me?
Yeah, they're asking. Yep.
They are?
You're live.
Oh, yes. Cool. Anyways, thank you all for being here. It's Brandon from Theme Park Predictions and More. And my special guest is my good friend, Matt, who he's been a part of a lot of vlogs in the past, as well as our breaking news for California's Great America, getting sold off or eventually closed up, and Cedar Fair selling off the property. And since you guys loved how analytical he was, he's in town. He's in Charlotte visiting for his work. And so now he's here to do a live stream with us. So if you have any questions for myself or Matt, feel free to ask. And why don't you tell a little bit about yourself real fast, and then we'll start answering questions and have a good little time.
Yeah. So I run a couple companies, and we have an office out here in Charlotte, and that's how Brandon and I met once at Carowinds, and I get all over the country, so I get to hit pretty much every theme park in the country.
It's pretty lucky.
Yeah.
Multiple times.
Yeah. I tend to get almost the whole country at least once a year.
I think you have season passes to every major park.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much.
So if you ever see Matt in the park, feel free to say hi. He's on a scale 1 to 10, he's probably like a 3 on being like a mean person, but over that, he's
Wait, is you're saying is 3 the low?
I don't know.
And what's the scale? Is it a 0 to 3, or are we talking about like a 1 to 100, a 1 to 10?
Could be anything.
Okay.
So I've never done a live before, so I guess we start going through some questions and what they're asking and stuff. Is that cool?
Yeah.
So
I think it's time.
Let's see. Should I go to Dorney if I can get to it? Yes. Kenny Fair, go. CLT Coasters, what's going on? We still need to meet at Carowinds one day. Top Thrill for Matt. I made multiple videos. People complain I made too many videos, but it's like top news stories, so whatever.
Yeah, but those videos do amazing.
They do good for me, so that's why I do it. And also,
people comment like crazy.
They do, and I try to have each video be a little bit different. But overall, I try to make it enjoyable and everything else. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of comments on here, so I'm sorry if I can't respond to everyone.
I'll be scrolling through them, and I'll give you some highlights. How about that? So you can focus on your content.
Oh, so. Perfect. You focus on the questions, and I'll answer. How about that? So anyways, you guys, first and foremost, thank you all so much for the support. Really do appreciate each view, each subscriber. Never thought I'd be here after 2.5 years of doing this. And I've actually met Matt through my channel at Carowinds, which has been crazy. Now he's a family friend. So it's exciting. All right, hit me with questions.
There's a lot of questions here. Thoughts about IAAPA. And since that's kind of on our list of, if there weren't enough questions, let's hit it. What are your thoughts?
It's really weird. Like most IAAPAs, it seems like in the past, there are more announcements and we didn't get any announcements till today. Steel Pier in Atlantic City announced they're getting a Premier Skyrocket 2, which is awesome, and another Premier spinning coaster. And then Six Flags just recently made an announcement that Six Flags has signed contracts and they are bringing new rides to the parks in 2023 and potentially new coasters. I just did a video on this like a few days ago with the Q3 conference call results coming back, and the CEO that we don't really like, now we're kind of liking now, I guess, said that they're focusing rides and coasters next year. So that is very, very exciting. Another little breaking news, the Carowinds, I just got a message from a non-disclosed friend of mine who knows information about Carowinds, but the air race for Carowinds aeronautical landing is on site at Carowinds, so hopefully vertical construction will start soon on that. But yeah, as far as IAAPA goes,
how long do you think that would take to go in?
Probably 2 weeks.
Yeah,
it's really quick.
So it's something that we could see next season.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, we're definitely gonna open probably opening day. But IAAPA, I'm a little underwhelmed, honestly, with the actual announcements. We haven't really heard anything from RMC as far as like new stuff or Intamin, even all the new Intamin designs. I've not really seen that many photos on social media of the Intamin booth. So overall, it's mediocre. Next question.
Well, maybe let's expand on that a little bit. the audience might want to hear more about some analysis on the IAAPA stuff. There was some exciting information from Skyline, I suppose, on their new monolithic track.
It does appear that Skyline is really amping up their roller coaster game. So that's very exciting. Not only are they working heavily with GCI for Zambezi Zinger at Rules of Fun, but they're also doing a lot of cool designs themselves, like really cool family coasters and kid coasters, which if you've ever been on a kid coaster, and most of you have, they're rough. I mean, the one at Carowinds, when I ride it with my son, it beats the crap out of you. So it'd be really nice to have some like really good top quality kid coasters coming into parks. So overall, I like it. Six Flags, I believe, is working with Skyline on probably bringing a few of their coasters to the parks next year, because they posted on their story that making contracts for 2023 with a Skyline billboard right behind it. So unless it's just kind of teasing us, but I'm kind of curious.
That's what IAAPA is about, right? It's teasing, getting the information out there.
And it's getting the hype going. So I'm super excited for Six Flags 2023 now. Before, I was not. I was more like, but now it's quickly is turning around.
Yeah. I think like a fast analysis for me on that, why it might be a little boring this year. Businesses don't want to spend money.
That's
Nobody
true.
that really knows what's around the next corner. And going cheap is really kind of an important thing.
And Skyline, no offense to Skyline, but they're cheaper manufacturer. Let me look at Cedar Fair. They just installed Zambezi Zinger, as well as the family coaster over at Canada's Wonderland. And where's the other coaster at? I forget. They had three. Oh, the Wild Mouse at Cedar Point. So three very, very affordable rides. Obviously, World of Fun's a little bit more expensive, but
not even that much. Though,
not really. No. So I think definitely we've seen a trend shift from $20 million rides to $5 to $10 million rides as of now.
$2 to $3 million rides, actually. But think about it, though. These are businesses. They want to stay in business, and nobody knows exactly how bad inflation is going to be. They don't know how bad the recession is going to be, even though everybody expects a downturn. So at least they're putting some money into the properties.
Oh yeah, in the end of the day, whether it's a new restaurant, I know a lot of people complain about the restaurant at Cedar Point, but as much as are we certain
that that's a restaurant at this point, or is it a secret ride? Maybe
I think it's an indoor launch coaster, like 300 foot tall. Maybe it's the 500 foot tall indoor launch coaster. No, but like
with an underwater element too, or
but it's funny because you have so many. The restaurants really do add into the experience, in my opinion, of course, but the money shows, and families go there for the experience. And in my opinion, it just feels like the restaurants will just bring in additional revenue for the park for future rides and coasters. So I definitely think Cedar Point will be back to doing Cedar Point things. But the biggest weakness that Cedar Point had up to a couple years ago was their restaurants. The culinary was horrible. Capacity, food quality wasn't even that great. But now they opened Backbeat Q as well as a farmhouse restaurant. Now the new one next year,
and both those are
I'm
great.
On board. They're fantastic. I would take any of those over any restaurant at Carowinds.
Yeah. How many times did you go to Cedar Point this year? You went there 3 times?
Twice. I was there with East Coasters for 2 days.
Okay, twice.
Yeah, but you went. How many times did you go? 9 times.
10.
Yeah. See, look at this lucky guy. Guy.
Maybe even more. It's hard to count.
Yeah.
But both restaurants great.
They're fantastic.
100%.
All right, next question.
Let's keep going on the theme of IAAPA, because a lot of questions about IAAPA. Okay. Here's a really good one here. What do you think with IAAPA announcement the Predator at Darien Lake is getting more GCI Titan?
Oh, they announced that? Great, good.
Do you think it's going to go full conversion or partial conversion for the future?
I just don't understand why Six Flags doesn't want to invest in that park. I mean, granted, the location's horrible, and
well, there's your answer right there, right?
Yeah, I know, but it has the concert venue, the campground, the hotel, the land to expand, and it's near Niagara Falls, which is a very big destination. I mean, the weather is not fun, but you also, if Canada's Wonderland can flourish the way it does in colder weather, what's going on? I do not understand it, but yes, to answer the question, if they would continue to add more Titan track to it, good for them. I've heard it's great. You've been on which one over Michigan's Adventure did you ride? The Wolverine Wildcat, right?
Yeah, and the Titan track there, that ride was super rough everywhere where there wasn't Titan track.
True.
So the second you got, you drop out of the first part, then the first drop right on Titan track, you're like, oh, this it's amazing.
Yeah.
As soon as you go off it, you're like, whoa, this is super rough. So that Titan track's it's nice. It blends in. It looks good. It's kind of like RMC's track. Their was it 904K or whatever
Sure.
their track is. That's like kind of the equivalent.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I'm gonna interrupt you real fast.
Yeah.
He's in charge of the questions, but I see one that's personal to me. J1789. Have you ever been to Geauga Lake? If so, what was your favorite ride there? I first went there in 2000 when it was Six Flags Ohio, when they opened up Dominate or Batman Night Flight, Superman Ultimate Escape, I think it was, and The Villain. And my favorite ride there, honestly, I think it was The Villain. Like I love. Have you ever ride The Villain?
Yeah.
In the good old days when it first opened, like that thing was great. Night Rides was fantastic. Now I love Batman.
It went
down
Superman. Fast.
It did though, 100%. And they're all three really good rides. But that was my favorite park ever. I liked it over Cedar Point because at one point you can do the animals, you can do the water park, you can do all the rides. Like the concept was great, but Six Flags ran it to the ground. And I firmly believe that Cedar Fair does not have as big of a stake as to why they closed over more. Six Flags definitely was a huge reason, more so than Cedar Fair, because they ran it down horribly. Guest service, people just did not want to go there, unfortunately.
The Six Flags way, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm certain Six Flags parks.
Yeah, not all of them.
No.
Fiesta Texas is pretty nice.
That's my favorite.
That's also why usually you don't say Six Flags Fiesta Texas. You just say Fiesta Texas, right?
It's just kind of, it's not a Six Flags park. It has Six Flags name, but it's not. It's great. All right. Next question.
I lost the IAAPA.
Oh my
so many
gosh. All right. So let's see here. Coaster Conquest. I think I met you at Fury. Wild Mouse for Cedar Point was planned last minute as a filler while they update Dragster. I could see that 100%. I think obviously there's a lot of uncertainty. Everything changed when the Dragster incident happened. And I think they had to kind of figure out and kind of shift around what their future, new attractions were going to be. And it definitely thinks, that was a boardwalk was definitely going to be a primary for a revamp. And I honestly think at one point, Cedar Point probably was like, why do we maybe regret closing down Wicked Twister with all the Dragster stuff?
So there you go. I'm gonna try to poke a hole in your analysis just for the fun of it. Okay? That's fine. So if it was like a last minute thing, is what you're saying, right?
I mean, within the last maybe a year. It's Zamperla, so Wild Mouse. Sure, you can buy it, get it manufactured and sent over pretty quickly.
I think that they were just reacting entirely to the events that were happening on the ground, with an injury and not figuring stuff out. Because why wouldn't they announce stuff in advance? Why would they have closed down a ride that was still running, that was working right there? Yeah, but they had a plan that they were going to do something with it. Most of these business decisions are probably planned 6 to 8 quarters out, year and a half to 2 years out, maybe even 3 years out.
Yeah.
On a 3-year, development plan.
True.
I don't know. I just don't. I don't feel like that they seem like they really had a very good plan in place, and they just kind of have been trying to react to stuff and trying to keep people happy while still keeping the park open.
Sure.
So
there's a question for you, Matt.
Yeah.
From A Wild Walter, what's your top 5 credits? And now give us a short version. You have 30 seconds because I asked him in the car on our road trip, what's his top 10? Give me an hour lecture on these 10 rides, or he give me like 50 rides. That's crazy.
I'm horrible.
All right, so top 5. Go.
Okay, cool. If I'm not going to put them in an order, then I can give you a top 5.
Yeah.
Time Traveler at Silver Dollar City. I'm going to say Diamondback at Kings Island. I'm going to say,
Fury's got to be there. Iron Gwazi.
Iron Gwazi is my top coaster. So Iron Gwazi at Busch Gardens, Tampa.
Same here. If Iron Gwazi is your favorite too, leave a comment, please, because I want to see how many people agree if you've been on Iron Gwazi, because it's damn good.
So, I'll say Fury 325.
Yeah, of course.
Slash Intimidator.
Oh gosh, I can't. I'm not going with you tomorrow night. Yeah, I'm staying home.
And then probably another B&M Hyper or X2. Or no, I can't. Of course, I got to go single rail for RMCs. So it's got to be Wonder Woman at Fiesta, Texas, because that's my favorite single rail. Oh, but I really like Wonder Woman at Magic Mountain.
30 seconds is up.
Oh,
Anyways, my top five.
Single rail.
Someone asked my top five, and I did a video recently on that, so go watch that. I'm just joking. But seriously, if you want to watch it, go watch it. But I would say Steel Vengeance, Maverick, Fury, Velocicoaster, Iron Gwazi. I think that's pretty much around my top five.
Okay.
So, here we go.
All right. So super chats are going to get read right away.
Never have super chats. So whoever, thank you very much.
It's from Balto Racing.
Racing.
Will Six Flags America become the California Great America of the chain to pay down their debt? Six Flags debt situation seems like it's a complete mystery right now. And he thanks you for your content. It's always great.
Very good.
As we all do.
Here's my thing about Six Flags America. Like, I've always had a soft spot for that park because I really think there's a little charm to it. Has a great entrance, has a great infrastructure of rides and coasters. And just think when that park really, I think 1999, it started really amping up the new coasters. And then all of a sudden you had other coasters come in with Superman and Batwing. Like, it had a great stretch. But then Six Flags stopped pushing the pedal on, adding new infrastructure. And it's just like, I really feel as if that park just got the love it deserved, then it could really do well because you're right in the middle of DC and Baltimore. I mean, there's so many people around there. There's no reason at all that park gets less than $2 million a year. It probably didn't even might just get over $1 million. And it has a decent water park. Like, it's the mystery. Honest to God, Six Flags needs to hire me. I would go in there and consult that park and turn it around. I can't. So to answer your question,
where can Six Flags reach you if they needed to?
Theme park predictions at gmail.com.
Okay, there you go.
Anyways, it comes down to it where Great America, I definitely feel as if it could go the route of Great America. I hope it doesn't, but I just feel like it's in a prime market that another company, if Six Flags wants to sell it off or doesn't want to do anything with it, and then maybe another company comes in and purchases it and maybe invest in it, because obviously the path that Six Flags has for America isn't paying off. So it's honestly, it's sad to see.
It's a great park too.
It's really a nice little park.
I mean, honestly, I felt safe there all the times that I've been there.
Yeah, and I have not been there since 2011, I think. So I definitely need to go back. It's just,
but you know how bad the reputation is.
It comes down to it. Yeah. Well, it's not even that. It's hard to get to. And there's so many other parks that are like opening new rides. It's like, it's just hard to make time for it. But yeah, my favorite ride there is Mindy Racer. I got to say, KI Coaster Guy, what's up, man? We always chat on Twitter. Hope you're doing well, buddy. And the kids are doing well.
So KI Coaster Guy asks, what do you think, Zamperla? Do you really think it's working on, Top Thrill Dragster after the announcement of the Lightning training at IAAPA?
I don't know. Like, El Toro Ryan had that, his source, which El Toro Ryan's great. I love his content, which I get a lot of sources. I get so much people, reaching out to me. Hey, I work for this company. I work for this park. Here's what's happening, where I know so much that I can't put on a video because I have like a disclosure with them. For me, friendships mean more than just making money off of videos and putting out content. But when it comes down to it,
it helps you with your insight.
It does, for sure. And it just comes down to it where could they work on Dragster? Yes. And the Lightning trains look phenomenal. And I got to say, especially after IAAPA, like, Zamperla is killing it. So I'm definitely more open to the idea now, seeing what they've done at IAAPA over what has done before IAAPA. But to answer your question, I mean, yes, they could. I still feel as if it's intimate. I really do. If it's not intimate, then it might be maybe Zamperla is working on it for a certain aspect, and Intimate's providing the track, and then you have another another manufacturer doing something else with it. It's complex. And the biggest thing with it is reliability. And you're having Zamperla work on a roller coaster that's 420 feet tall and 120 miles an hour. I don't know if Cedar Point and Cedar Fair wants to go down that route.
The experimental path.
Yeah, it just
seems weird.
I mean,
if anything, maybe the trains, because trains are simple, and
at least
maybe
more
simpler.
I mean, that might be a thing though, because look, the Intamin trains are the issue of the accident, unfortunately. So maybe that was, a piece of it.
I don't know.
Maybe the new
There's a lot of
trains.
rumors about it, but not a lot of evidence. So
True.
It's hard to say.
What was the next one? Do you see the other chat that someone else are you able to pull that up?
I'll go grab it as soon as I can find it.
96 people watching. Really? That's crazy. That's amazing. I never thought that many people would be turning in. So we want to say thank you for sure. Real fast for you guys too. Put in the comments maybe so I can see it on the community tab for this. I'm going to have Matt here the next couple of days hanging out. He's going to be working too. But him and I are going to do some videos together about some topics. And feel free to reach out about a topic you want Matt and I to work on to do a video, because he's so in-depth, analytical in his mind. Like, I'm always asking him questions because he not only knows the industry, but he's so in-depth and everything else. It's really cool to have him as a friend, but have him be a part of the channel too. All right, what was the next one?
So we got Taylor. I'm gonna mess up your name. Is it Schloop? Maybe
Schloop Music. Cool.
Yeah, Taylor Schloop Music. He says,
"Thank you.
Yeah, loves your videos.
Thank you.
What predictions do you feel most confident in with Top Thrill Dragsters? A lot of Top Thrill questions here also floating around.
This is the biggest thing out there right now in a year that we're not adding that many huge coasters, at least here in the States. Besides like Air Force One and Wildcats Revenge and whatnot. But obviously the launch is changing. I will say from my source, I can't say much, but it is going to be more than just what we were used to. So whether that is a swing launch or a vertical spike or an extended layout to a point, it's going to be different from my source. Now, obviously, my source could be wrong. I don't know, but he has been right in the past. And with that, I feel like the most likely would be probably a swing launch of some kind, because that's like the newest trend right now. That's more of a
everybody's doing it.
Everyone's doing it.
All the big rides are doing it. Yeah,
I think that would be more of a marketing power, because it's right in front of the midway there, over something behind the launch, where it's an extended layout wise. I mean, just think about walking down Dragster Midway and you see this ginormous tower that's 400 feet tall. Then you have the top hat. I mean, there's just a lot going on. And I think if they were just replacing the launch, then they would have made an announcement by now that, hey, it's coming back in 2023. And I think that just shows that it's going to be more.
To be something bigger. So I'm going to push you. I remember you used to always give percentages on your predictions in the past. So if you're saying that is your thing, hey, we got to
Can you go back to your hotel now?
We've got to give Taylor his money's worth. He put in a super chat, and I'm gonna help get his dollars there. You used to go like, I give a 35% for this. I give a 15%. What do you feel that is a swing launch then, if that's what the direction you're thinking? Are you anywhere close to a 50% on that?
I'll say this. I think keeping Dragster the same as it is now, with just replacing the launch only, I'm going to give it a 10% chance. And then modifications, either while the launch is going on, before the top hat or after the top hat, then we would be switching. So I feel like it'd be very. I just don't think marketing wise, like, Cedar Point has a unique opportunity here, just like Kennywood did with Steel Phantom when they changed it to Phantom's Revenge. So I feel like they could easily market this as a brand new coaster and add on something to it to kind of propel it down for the next 5 or 10, 20, 30 years down the road. That's why I still feel as if Intamin is involved. And we all need to hope Intamin is, because Intamin's been killing it lately.
Yep.
And if Intamin and Cedar Fair can patch up the relationship, I mean, I'm working on a video now about Intamin, all their new creations. Like, my gosh, I just want a park full of Intamin stuff, because they have so many different kinds of water rides, the 3D attractions, coasters. Like, it's crazy. Mm-hmm. So very, very exciting about it. Real fast, Ghoster Coasters. Thank you, bro. He's let me use his footage of the Dragster station and the storage area. So huge shout out to him. Go check out his channel as well. And
great channel.
And KI Coaster Guy too. He has a channel. Coaster Conquest has a channel as well. And if I forget anyone, please forgive me. It's just I'm trying to
just spam post and I'll read it then.
Yeah, spam post. Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
So you really diverted and never actually answered the question.
I did. I said 10%.
You said 10%. So that means 90% chance it's going to change.
It's going to change. Swing
but
launch.
What percentage is the swing launch out of that 90% then?
I'm going to have all my friends on Reddit on theme park.
They're going to hate on you no matter what you say.
They're going to hate on me for this, but this is for y'all.
Okay.
I don't care about the haters. I would say probably. I'm fit. Honestly, I'm torn. I think it makes more sense to do a swing launch if they can pull it off over.
So you almost said 50%. So you're saying you're approaching 50% or it's under 50%?
I think it's
somewhere in that zone.
I think it's 50. I'm going to go 10%. No changes at all. Just the LSMs. I'll go 60 swing and then 30 extended layout on the after the top.
Okay.
Because I heard they're going to be removing the photo booth, and that is they only do that if they're really extending the layout, and that would have the spike.
The 1% dark horse chance that they're tearing it all down.
They could. They could.
And this was just part of the way of easing us in.
Correct.
Okay?
And that they could have started early, but I really don't feel that.
You'd think they would just have said, "Hey, we got to take it down."
Pretty much, yeah.
All so right, let's roll through super chats because we got a couple backed up here.
Oh, we do. Okay.
We'll be going. This is from Xander Rides Coasters.
Yeah.
We'll be going to CoasterCon.
Since it's at Carowinds and Dollywood. Honestly,
close.
I don't know if it's an ACE event or not. So I've never been really. Ever since I started the channel, I never really started getting into the coaster events, but now I'm starting to do some more. But my wife and I just had a kid, a little girl, about 2 months ago now. So, and our parents don't live here in Charlotte, so it's hard to I just can't leave my wife home with 2 kids all the time. So I have to be very strategic about.
Why don't we just take her with us then?
The wife?
Yeah, to CoasterCon.
She would love it.
Yeah.
So it just comes down to.
So that's not a hard yes.
No, I'm definitely. I need to
not a hard no either.
This year we're going to be moving eventually, so it's a lot of stuff going on personally for my family. But this year I have to make sure I have to go out to Texas, see my good buddy Josh, and to go out to ride Wildcats Revenge.
Hi, Josh. I'll see you in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, and a couple other parks and stuff. But yes, definitely. At least the Carowinds portion, it's right here.
Yeah.
All right.
Just right down the street.
So, yes, to answer your question, I would like to go. And if you go, I'd love to meet you. And by the way, if anyone ever sees me in the park, I know I look pretty unfriendly, but usually wear my merch or my logo stuff. Or now I have Theme Park Predictions merchandise. It's themeparkmerch.com. Check it out. I design all the merch myself. I try to price it a little bit lower than most merch stores. And I just put an order in from my own merch to wear around the parks too, because I think it's cool looking. But anyway, so say hi. I really like meeting you guys, and
he's very approachable.
100%.
Every time I've been in the park with you, someone's always coming up. Oh, I love your videos.
I don't even wear my stuff half the time. This stuff, right? And this is great. I love it. But I might not have time to ride a ride with you. But at least hey, how are you doing? Talk to you for a few minutes, get a picture. Love that. It's just.
Well, you're a good-looking man. People can see it from a distance, and they're like, "That's him." I can tell.
I try.
Okay.
All right. Next question.
Jamie Wood Coasters asks thoughts on Spin Vision going to Kennywood.
Love it. Kennywood, phenomenal. I absolutely love that Zamperla Gyphon. What's it called? How do you pronounce it?
I think Gyphone.
Gyphone. I think that
ride the next ride
looks phenomenal.
Yeah, it looks good.
It looks really cool. And I think more parks really need to start adding rides like that. And I think I added put that in some predictions for Cedar Fair, Six Flags parks of 2023 stuff. But it just comes down to it where I love it. I think Kennywood did a fantastic job with that area, with the name, the theme. I like everything about it. Okay. I think it's a really good investment, especially after they spent $20+ million on Steel Curtain. And then, COVID happened. And then obviously the shooting, unfortunately, happened over at Phantom Fright Night. So they really haven't had the best year the last couple of years. So to see them still investing in new rides, kudos to them. That's fantastic. I really like it.
All right. So let's jump into some more IAAPA stuff. This is in the same vein. What are your thoughts, since there was a lot of promotion about SeaWorld's Surf Coaster IAAPA, about do you think that might go into any other parks before Epic Universe?
Zero coaster. Oh, I mean, SeaWorld's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, SeaWorld, I mean, I could see them. Would they have to? SeaWorld Orlando has to work on What Arctic. The ride's not there anymore. That exhibit's is such a great exhibit. But it gets no traffic because there's no like attraction that funnels into the actual exhibit anymore. So I definitely could see them possibly doing a ride like the Arctic coaster opening over at I think it's the Arctic Rescue Coaster. I butchered the name on in my last video. I think Arctic Blast, but I think it's Arctic Rescue.
I believe it's Arctic Rescue.
But something like that, even though it'd be like the third launch coaster in a row, but something along the lines of, another family coaster in that area. SeaWorld needs a ride that has a 48-inch height requirement or even 39-inch.
Yeah.
Because you go from
family,
the kid coaster and the Sesame Place area, then Journey to Atlantis, which is 48, then Icebreaker 52, whatever pipeline's going to be, then the 3 B&Ms or the 3 other B&Ms. So it's like SeaWorld's all about getting families there because obviously Disney, Universal, it's a head scratcher why pipeline's even there. I think the ride's cool looking, but I feel like there are so many other rides that they could have built in that area, for that.
Do you see that model going into any other parks?
The pipeline?
Yeah.
I mean, it's all based on how successful it is, right? Reliability wise, if the guests like it, if it's comfortable. I mean, this is the first time B&M's really built a ride that like reimagined an existing ride in a way. Like the stand-up coaster is never really that popular. It's kind of rough, kind of uncomfortable. Now they're completely remodify the train. So I'm definitely excited to see exactly what will happen with it. So I hope that they'll do it. I hope that we'll see more of them. I will say I was looking at the layout today, and I really like that it's not your typical stand-up layout. It's not all inversions. There's so much more than just inversions. You have the airtime hills, the turns, the one corkscrew weird looking inversion. So and obviously the launch, which is great too. So a lot of cool things. Okay.
All right. Well, what do you think? What do you think about the Vekoma? There's a lot of questions here about the Vekoma family coaster at Dollywood.
I love it.
And you've been talking about Vekomas for a while.
I love what Vekoma's doing. And that Dollywood coaster, and again, Ghosty Coasters, shout out. That ride, when they released the POV, like I was like, holy crap, does this ride ever end? I mean, even that first section after the first two launches, you just go through it. I'm like, wait, where's the second launch at? Then you hit it, and it's like, this is going to be a great ride if there's theming. And it'll still be a great ride without it. But hopefully Dollywood will, I mean, they spent how much? 23 million on that? Like they spent over 20.
Yeah.
And I just feel like $20 million for that. Like there has to be something else.
It has to be more.
Obviously the excavation of the area, getting that land pretty cleared out, that probably was in the cost. So there'll be a lot of different things for that. But I really like that ride. I think it'll do well for Dollywood, and then it's 39-inch height requirement. Then you have Fire Chaser, which is 39-inch, and then the Dragon Flyer 39-inch. Like it's perfect for families, but Dollywood will definitely be focusing on thrills for their next coaster, without a doubt.
Yeah,
I mean, it's just a matter of time.
I feel like Herschend, who
and Silver Dollar City is your favorite park.
I mean, it's right by my development office, so I'm there very frequently. Yeah, I get like 5 to 6 days a month there.
Wow.
During the open season. I think with Herschend that they are just actually honest on their costs, because I've always felt when they put their financial numbers out there, their fiscal numbers, you're like, that doesn't make any sense on costs, except for me as a businessman knowing, wow, there's a lot more sunk costs into things than people realize. The 2 years pre-planning in advance, all the development, all figuring things out. I think they actually release their real numbers, unlike other parks, which maybe necessarily don't. Yeah. Because I think since they're a smaller operation, they want to make it seem like it's a big deal.
True.
But how much they're spending on it, but it feels like a $20 million at a Herschend is not the same as a $20 million being spent at a Six Flags. But again, I don't think they wrap all those costs into it. I think that's why we see the difference in some of those dollars. But I would assume if it's a Dollywood, you're not going to be going through a black bag or a box or anything else like that. It's going to be like a lot of stuff.
I hope they add some theming for it. And I think they'll.
You saw the trains already, right?
Yeah, the trains are
insane amount
and the noise it makes. Like I'm very, very excited about that.
Yeah.
Okay, what was the next question?
There
was one highlighted here. Yeah. Brandon, I find it so funny that how I saw you in a bathroom at BGT. Probably, obviously, just coming in out of the bathroom. Speaking of BGT, I was wondering if you think they would be getting a new coaster in the next 3 to 4 years. The Lazy Potato, definitely. Again, like SeaWorld's on this spending spree, and I think it's like obviously paying off to a point because they're adding new coasters next year for 2023. We already know their numbers are up. We already know that Busch Gardens Williamsburg is going to be getting a roller coaster over 200 feet tall at this point. So there's definitely signs of they're not going to stop. Mm-hmm. And I made a video about a week ago where that new S&S Scream and Swing, the Serengeti Flyer, it's placed where the Jungala, not the Jungala, but the Rhino Rally station used to be, which if you've ever been to Busch Gardens, it's so far like off the beaten path where that one ride alone, I don't think it's going to draw enough people back there. So I think it's just like the first step of that area, in my opinion, will be very good. We need to keep our eye on it for the next potential coaster for sure.
So now here's the question.
Okay.
Anytime in the last, because I don't know how long this happened from Lazy Potato, but at any time in the last couple of years, has anybody called you out in a bathroom and said, "Hey, I know you"?
I don't think so.
No.
I met my buddy Eric from Carowinds, who works at Cedar Fair Corporate. He was walking to the bathroom, I think, right by Camp Snoopy at Carowinds. He's like, "Wait a minute, are you Brandon from Theme Park Predictions?" And I'm with my son, and I'm not even wearing shirts. And I'm like, "Yeah." And sure enough, he just moved here from Texas. And I'm like, "That's really cool," and showed him, gave him all the good areas of Charlotte to check out the restaurants. And I see him from time to time. Super nice guy. And it's weird how I meet people, but I love every second of it.
Yeah.
Even if it's in a bathroom.
Yeah, even in a bathroom. Now, I don't have a bathroom story about BGT, but I have a bathroom story about Carowinds and you. Do you remember that time when the monster truck rally was at Carowinds?
Yeah, that was awkward.
And I'm in the bathroom washing my hands.
Yeah, that's
and my
true.
son's in there, and all of a sudden the stall opens, and you pop out, and you look at me, and I look at you.
Like, hey, what's up, Matt? I didn't know you were.
Yeah. Are you stalking me in the bathroom? I'm like, no, I'm here with my son. So
I had to use the restroom,
as we all do.
That Brazilian steakhouse that he took me to the night before, but that was fun.
Okay, so let's keep rolling through these questions because we're running quickly through our time, and we want to answer as many questions as we can. Here's a shout out from Ghost Coasters about supporting the merch channel. I've seen the merch.
Thank you.
It's really cool. You got a couple new designs, don't you?
Yeah.
They seem like they're selling well too. We were just talking about your numbers. So
I can't believe it. So thank you guys, whoever purchased a shirt, merch. I have free shipping too. So it's on the website, themeparkmerch.com. I'm going to get my shirts in about a week. So I'm going to start wearing them. I have hoodies. I have women's tank tops, men's tank tops. And I actually
what about hats? Are you
I don't have hats because they have to be embroidered, and it's a pain in the butt to do it as of now.
Okay.
And I don't.
So don't look out for hats.
No, I don't do cheap merchandise. I don't want stuff to like flake off. It's just printed on the hat. That's gonna break off quickly.
Yep.
And one thing's cool is I can do like posters and canvas art. Mm-hmm. And so I have my slogan at the end of every video. Thank you for watching. Remember to smile today. Think positive and keep riding coasters. And I know a lot of people I met in the parks. We met the guy from Great America.
Oh yeah,
and how
it was so impactful.
Keep riding coasters helped him through his medical issues to be able to go ride coasters again. Like my slogan, right, is I first started with "Stay safe" because COVID. Mm-hmm. Then I COVID kind of phased out, or not like phased out, but things kind of got a little weird different with it. And so I said, okay, well,
it's not violating any YouTube policies here with any statements. So.
Think positive, smile today, because everyone goes through ups and downs and stuff like that. But anyways, I'm going to get my poster and put it on my wall behind me because to me, it's a daily reminder as well, not just for everyone else. So anyways, yeah. So let's see here.
Check out the merch. Is the long and short of that. A lot and new stuff coming.
It's come from him. Yeah, I always have new stuff. I'm working with Escape Designs, my good buddy Dustin, who does a lot of graphic designs. He modified my logo for me. So I'm going to work with him on some other cool concepts we're working with. Yeah, okay. So I'm super excited. Real fast, Chris Viola, I think his last name is. What's the roughest coaster you've ever ridden? Son of Beast was pretty god awful if you're riding on a wheel seat.
Yeah,
that was pretty brutal. But then what was the Pegasus at
Pegasus?
I rode with him when we went on a road trip. Oh my God.
Yep.
That was horrible. And I rode with Jack from Thrilling Moments Photography and Scott from Coaster Force. Go check out them on social media as well. If you already haven't, you probably have.
That's at
great
Mount
guys.
Olympus in Wisconsin Dells.
Yeah, it's horrible.
By the way.
Yeah, it was horrible.
I don't know if it was horrible. It definitely was rough. And you're right. It's Son of Beast rough.
Yeah.
Hi,
Brandon. He always comments on my videos. I think Dr. Puffin, I met him at Carowinds, I believe. What was your coaster you were surprised with most in a good way? Oh God, these are hard. I can't do this stuff. I have to like really think.
Okay.
No, but it's okay.
How about on our trip, Mamba?
Yes,
super pumped about Mamba.
Mamba
with no trim.
We did no trims, only running one train, but that was one of by far the best coaster top 10 experiences I've ever had. So I've been on it before, but when I got up, it was amazing. And we weren't even in the magic seat. Like it was crazy. And he's been on it hundreds of times. And I'm like, holy, it was phenomenal. Yeah. And I really liked Timberwolf too. I thought that was really good too. That pop-up airtime after that first little hill. That was really, really good.
You know, the ones that surprise you the most are when you think it's going to be bad and you come off with a really good experience. Like when we went on Joker, because you always don't like 40 spins. Yeah. I had to beg you to go on it with me, and we had like the craziest time. I mean, it was just a horrible imbalance.
Yeah, so we couldn't stop flipping. No. I almost got to the point where like the moment, like, is this right? Like, is it gonna stop? It was great. But yeah, let's see. For both of you, real fast, favorite B&M invert. And I'm not going to be able to read every question. I apologize. So I'm just seeing the first one that pops up. My favorite B&M invert. I really like Afterburn at Carowinds. I know it's right a few minutes from my house. The more I ride it, the more I love it. I also like Alpengeist first half. Montu is really good. And obviously like Banshees. I like Banshee.
I'll say mine's Banshee. I love and then Banshee's I probably follow yours. After that, so,
yeah, Banshee's. I don't like.
I like the unique twist element.
I know, but it's not as intense, which is not a bad thing. But it's just an enjoyable, rewritable ride. You can ride it tons and tons of times, which is great. But again, Afterburns just is so good. Another question I saw, I forget who said it. Sorry. Should you go to Carowinds Winterfest? Yes, Winterfest is fantastic. Carowinds really does put on a great show. For their holiday event, and you have more coasters open. Though be aware, Fury 325, one train ops. They're sending 2 rows per car for the fast lane and 6 per non-fast lane. So just bear with it, and please, please, please do not be rude to the associates at any parks because it's not their fault. They don't make decisions like that. Nope. Unfortunately, they're just there, and honestly, they're probably just as frustrated as we are because they don't like that either. But anyways, that's that.
Okay. Volcano. Lot's been empty for too long.
Oh, geez.
What do you think?
I will say, here's a little story. My first time. That's a baby. Sorry. Baby crying. Daddy mode kicked in. I'm sorry. I heard a baby cry. Anyways, my first ever rollback on any coaster and evac was Volcano in 2018. My wife and I rode the front seat with my buddy Brian. You've probably seen him on other videos of mine. We rode with his wife too. Kate and I were in the front row, and we launched, and I've been on it many times. So has she. And then as we went out of the volcano, it literally just stopped. Like we stopped upside down, hanging upside down. And I'm like, holy crap. And we started rolling back. And Brian and I were like screaming like, heck yeah. Probably said some words I can't say on here. Like we were stoked because we knew exactly what we had. And the girls were like crying and freaking out. They thought we were going to die. It was great. So that plot of land, I don't know. Like there's so many areas King's Dominion needs to build a ride at. And I love what Cedar Fair is doing with King's Dominion as of late. Like the Tambili and that new expedition area is phenomenal. And I love the reptilian. That whole theme and the logo. It's fire. Nice. It's beautiful. So I definitely feel like that would have to be the area where the next coaster would most likely go.
But what do you think is going to go there then?
A coaster.
A coaster.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not a restaurant?
I mean, they have a good restaurant over there now, though, in that new area.
Yeah.
And they're going to get rid of Chick-fil-A and add a new in-house restaurant. So I like the food. We have the meal plan. So when a park announces a new restaurant, I get excited about it because I like to eat good quality food, not just a burger and fries or chicken tenders and stuff like that. But hold on.
Okay.
Jackson Brinkley, best NF album. If you don't know who NF is, check him out. He's a hip hop artist, fantastic. He doesn't curse, doesn't talk about drugs. He really positive messages, but he sounds a lot like Eminem. But he's very, very good with his lyrics and the beats, and he sings and he raps, and the music just doesn't really sound like hip hop. And a lot of people that don't even like hip hop love NF. My favorite album, probably The Search, followed by Perception. I really like Therapy Session as well, and I like Clouds, the mixtape. So my wife and I are huge NF fans, seeing him live 5 times. This is an NF poster right here. And my kid loves the music as well.
That's The Search right there.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Honestly, The Search, there's a lot of music there. I'm 39 years old and I suffer from, stuff in life. And that album has got me through a lot of, times where I wasn't really even thinking, not like crazy thoughts, but thoughts where I, it helped propel me to think, okay, I got this, I'm going to go on there. So I'm going to get it. But back to Volcano, I think any coaster, this thinking off the top of my head, what does King's Dominion need most? I mean, they need something that Busch Garden doesn't have.
How about a Giga Tilt coaster?
Oh, that would be phenomenal. That would be phenomenal. Absolutely.
That'd be insane.
But I made a prediction video. Maybe that'd be like where the Axis coaster could go.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's so unique. But then we're dealing with Cedar Fair and how conservative they are. So it's like, that might not really fly. But now if Intamin and Cedar Fair start working together, maybe they work with something else there. there's so many new models Intamin's doing, but obviously with the bad thing with the what's it called? The Intimidator, all the issues they cause, they might not go with Intamin.
Yeah.
But I would love a ride like Mystic Timbers because yes, King's Dominion has Grizzly, Rebel, or Racer 75, but so did Kings Island. They have the Beast and Racer, then they got Mystic. So really, would that stop them? And look how good Mystic's done for Kings Island.
Yeah.
It was a fairly cheap investment. The GP love it. It's my favorite coaster there. Yours?
It's my
whatever. Anyways,
second or third favorite.
I definitely feel like there could be a launch coaster there, or maybe they do a B&M surf coaster. Shockwave. There's a lot of different things that can go there.
All right, I got you, Twippo Games. He did exactly what I said, which is spam the question over and over again. So, what do you think about Alabama Adventure putting in a major steel coaster now that it has a more prominent owner?
I really like what they've done there. And honestly, I've never been to that park, sadly. Because I think it's like 3 hours south of over Georgia or southwest.
Yeah, it's almost in Florida, basically.
Yeah, so it's like, I just need to get down there to ride Rampage. I definitely see something. I don't know if it would be because the Koch family still owns it, right? Don't they still own it?
Let's go Google it real quick.
No, but I think definitely could see something happening because if it is the same family that kind of was the inspiration behind Raven, Legend, Voyage, I would think they want to replicate that and build a new wooden coaster. I mean, they got good paid off for Holiday Roll, but I don't know. That'd be interesting.
So it's owned by the same people as Holiday World. I didn't mention that because I wasn't certain that was who owned it. But yeah, so same people.
For someone asked how much you go to Carowinds, do you have an all-season fast lane? Honestly, yes, I do this year. I'm very humble. I'm very down to earth, and but
I basically forced you to do it.
That's true.
So.
But I told my wife, look, I've made some decent money this year from the channel. I'm traveling more. Like I have to get content when I go to other Cedar Fair parks. I paid, I think, $1,000 for the fast lane for all parks.
Yeah.
But in the end,
that's an investment in your business, though.
But it is expensive. I know it's crazy
it's a lot
expensive.
Of money.
I'm very, very thankful that I'm able to do it because honestly, even when I had my other business before I started doing YouTube, I was never able to justify spending that money, let alone I'm married to an accountant, which is tough sometimes because why do we spend $7 on this? The other day I got out of the shower, Brandon, what's this? I'm like, oh, that's not, it was $54 for my merch stuff. I'm like, I bought it a couple of shirts to wear. It's no big deal.
Okay.
All right, any other question? Let's see here.
Yeah, so a gentleman, or maybe not. Okay, a subscriber has been wondering for about a year now if they can use Fastlane Plus to ride Fury 325 in the front row, or do you get to pick your own rides or lane?
It all depends on the grouper. So you get in your Fastlane line, you go up to the Fastlane stairs, and then whoever the grouper is, you can ask for the front row, but obviously they cannot guarantee it, unfortunately. A lot of it varies on how long the line is and everything else. So you can ask. The best case scenario is you have Fastlane, hopefully you have some time, get a couple rides in on it, and you kind of play your odds. So you can always ask. Sometimes they do. Because even me, like, it's funny, especially this year, a lot of people know me now. A lot of the ride operators at Carowinds know me, which is great. I have one who I think his name's Nathan over at Copperhead, always, hey, go follow Theme Park Predictions on YouTube. He's on the microphone, which is really cool. But anyways, I really like, what's it called? As far as Fastlane, sorry, yes, you could definitely do it if they allow it. So
I have found when I have gone to Carowinds specifically to go, and when I go on,
and he'll ride more than I will because I have a kid with me, so I can't ride like you do.
When I go up, I say, I said, I'd love to sit in the front, and I'm willing to wait for as many ride cycles as you need me to. And usually that's the buzzword that they need to hear. And if they don't put you on, maybe the next one or the one after that, they'll let you go on it. It actually kind of generally works almost anywhere. Just say, I'm willing to wait. How long would it take for me to wait for that front row?
Yeah.
I ride the front plenty. I ride the back plenty.
I know it's funny. I've always thought the back row, the unload side of the back row is the magic seat and the back row, period. And while I love back row this year, since I've ridden Fury more this year than I've ever had before, and any other year, I probably maybe 150 rides on it this year, maybe less. I gotta say, my favorite row might be row 2 because you don't get
the one that told you that.
Nope, it was before.
Okay.
But you don't get the wind, but you still get the views for the most part.
You get everything you do in the front row without getting blasted in the face with the hairdryer.
So good. It's crazy. Yeah. Absolutely love.
Okay, row Fury. 2, unload side or load side?
Though? I'm not really that.
You're not that picky? No. Oh, come on. You are too.
I mean, not really.
I would say unload side. Row 2 is my favorite.
So
in the front part of the train. Okay. Do you see B&M making a Giga out of some non-traditional model, like a dive, a wing, or a surf? Do you see any Gigas besides what we call the Hyper Giga?
With the wing coasters, it always feels like those trains are rattly because they're so wide and off the axis of the track. Yep. So I don't really know if I really want to experience that at 300 feet.
A Giga version of that?
Yeah, Giga version. Yeah. A dive. Yeah, I mean, Yukon's 246 or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, you almost have Giga dives already at this point.
Yeah, I mean, 50 more feet.
You could do it if someone wanted to pay the money.
A surf coaster, I don't know if they'll make a hyper out of a surf coaster at this point, but I could be wrong. I mean, and that's the thing is I always get, not always, but a lot of people say, you never get predictions right. And it's like, it's a prediction. Like, it's not guaranteed. I'm not factually, and I have. There's a lot of.
Wait a minute, you don't have a degree in this?
No,
and you're predicting forecasts.
I always find it funny if you never get prediction. I'm like, I predicted Carowinds, Winterfest. I'm not Winterfest. I'm sorry, open year round. Their Fury is going to be open. I predicted a bunch of stuff about Cedar Point that turned out right. About they're going to be getting a roller coaster next year. It's a family coaster, but it's a coaster.
So I'm going to expand on this question because it kind of goes to a couple of things that people have asked. What could be Giga then that are models out there? Don't have to be a B&M, but if
I like the tilt coaster idea. But
you think a tilt could go?
Well, the supports for that, as we know right now, is Vekoma really hasn't built one yet. I mean, years ago they did.
But it'd be relatively simple. It's just an A-frame.
Yeah, but that's a massive support structure. I think the Intamin vertical LSM, that could do it because it could be like a ginormous, top hat thing like that. I don't know. That model definitely. The Infinity coaster possibly from Gerstlauer.
Yeah.
I mean, I would love a monster.
I don't know what they've said.
I
don't know what they said their maximum height is. But,
I don't know.
But they go pretty big in Europe.
I mean, there's a lot of, obviously,
they've claimed they can do a Giga, so you would assume it's probably some of that models.
The RMC T-Rex, I mean,
T-Rex.
when that does come, I think obviously that's built for 300, 400, 500 feet.
Okay.
I think really any manufacturer could technically do it if they wanted to. right? There's so much more liability when you're doing that big of a project, how expensive it is and stuff like that. But I definitely feel like mock rides could do it as well, because the mock hypers, I've heard from a lot of people that have been on, I think there's 3 or 4 now. I think there's 3. Well, I think they have that launched one in China that's a hyper because it's 200 feet tall, but it's an LSM launch. DC Rivals and the Hypercoaster and Blue Fire, I think it is, or Blue Legend or something like that. Like, they're phenomenal rides and they're great. And so I'm all for mock hypers coming to America instead of like a B&M hyper, unless it's like Mako.
Okay.
But yeah.
Okay. Well, then a couple people have asked several things about T-Rexes and Axis, so I'll sum them up in, where do you think each one will go for the first time? Or do you think that either one is going to be coming?
I definitely see them both coming.
Okay.
It's just a matter of what parks.
Yep.
We all thought Six Flags is the SNS Axis is such a Six Flags, gimmick. Check out this really cool, wild looking ride.
Okay.
It all depends on the price point of the ride. So I definitely could see some weird park building the first Axis coaster. Off the top of my head, it's just some, I don't know, like not Kennywood, but something like where you're not like a big tier park, but you're kind of out, not really left field, like completely. I just got myself in a little hole, didn't I? I don't know. Like, there's just a lot of weird. I don't know if Cedar Fair would really do that.
So you don't think it's going to be a major park, is what I'm hearing?
It could not be. Like, I think we have to keep our eyes open for
somebody that's
random,
willing to
like
take a risk.
Toddleland. Maybe there's another park out there that has, that wants to really fully invest in something and wants to bring a unique attraction to, and that definitely is a unique attraction. I think maybe Universal could work with that to have all the different motions that ride offers. Maybe they could.
But they seem to go with more established stuff, to be honest. And they're investing so much money. So what about, do you think that Europe's going to beat America at either of those models?
Yes. The SNS, I heard today from my friend Michael, I believe, texted me that SNS has sold 2 Axis coasters. Is that Michael?
Can you reveal your sources on this one?
2 Axis coasters. No, I'm sorry, my friend Sam.
Okay.
Sam, but my friend Michael sent me a lot too from IAAPA. But my buddy Sam, 2 Axis coasters have been sold. We know one's in Europe. I don't know where the other one is.
Okay.
So we do know that. As far as the T-Rex, again, I think it could be overseas. I think it could be America. There's
what do you
so
think?
Many parts.
Wild Waves.
Man, that part needs
Seattle.
something. But
do you think they could get an Axis then?
I mean, I doubt it. No.
Okay.
That part doesn't want to get anything. Because
a new slide?
It rains up there all the time, right? I mean, I've never been to Seattle. I would love to go, but there's so much more to do up there. You have the hiking and stuff like that, skiing. I don't know, but maybe like Silverwood or getting the Axis coast, something really weird. Not saying these are not predictions, I'm just
speaking off the head.
Yeah.
Silverwood would be weird.
I know, but
they don't put big investments and stuff, and the only reason why they really did RMC is
just
right
buy
down
a
the street.
park and build an Axis coaster, and that way I was right. Can you do that for me?
I'll think about it. So, okay, Worlds of Fun. A lot of people asking questions about Worlds of Fun. Do you think they're going to continue to make more investments after their current ride?
Yeah.
Or do you think this is a one and done? This is the once in a decade investment into a park they don't invest into frequently.
Park Pros, I think it Park Pros. Sorry, they created a video about Worlds of Fun might get a Giga to match up with the World Cup coming to Kansas City. I think 2026. And I don't see them getting a Giga. They have the room, but I just feel like Cedar Fair is. I think the Zambezi Zinger is going to be a very important roller coaster for Cedar Fair because obviously they're investing in their smaller parks like Valley Fair, Dorney Park, obviously not Michigan's Adventure. But I really feel like they'll definitely start to invest more into the park if it pays off. If Worlds of Fun can see the difference in the throughput of people coming to the turnstiles to ride it and the popularity of the ride, then 100%. Because that's what it's all about, right? Is you want to build a roller coaster or a new ride to market it, to bring in new people to the park, to say, hey, you know what? This is a great time. I'm going to upgrade to a season pass. I want to buy a funnel cake. I want to do this. and Kansas City is kind of a stagnant market. I think it's growing a little bit, but it's not really declining in population. So there's definitely
it's just barely over
you're
top
there
of,
pretty.
Yeah, I mean, like our office there.
I mean, it's not horrible. It's nothing like St. Louis, unfortunately.
No,
St. Louis is going. They're losing population pretty quickly, unfortunately. So I feel like there's definitely room for future growth there. And Royalty Fun's a great park. I mean, yes, you're not going to have the best.
We had a blast when we went there.
An hour and 45 minutes, and we had a great time.
Yeah,
and I had a great time at Valley Fair. And when I went to Dorney Park with my buddies from East Coasters, we had a fantastic time as well. Like, that's a solid park.
It's a good park.
They don't have new coasters that much, but it's a great. What they have is really, it works.
Okay, got a great question here. Mostly because it's addressed to me, and it's got another person named Matt that's asking it. Do you guys like RMCs? Do you like RMCs, Brandon?
They're not my favorite. I will say that. Now, I do have a lot of RMCs in my top 10, and Iron Gwazi is my number 1. I don't really care for the trains as much. And I prefer Intamin, like obviously like certain Intamins over certain RMCs. But yeah, they're my second favorite manufacturer easily. I'm definitely excited to see what the future holds for the company and everything else.
I am horrible about ranking stuff.
Yes.
So I will say, since someone's asking the question, that RMC is my favorite manufacturer out there, just because they're some of my favorite rides. But I love RMCs. I will put up with the trains, even though they're not the best. But I love Outlaw Run at, I guess, my home park, since Phoenix doesn't have a home park, at Silver Dollar City. Iron Gwazi is like the perfect ride. I was there on the first day of Pass Preview. I texted you within like the first like 2 or 3 minutes of the first ride opening that I'm like 3 trains away from going on this thing.
And I had other friends in line, different points of the line riding. I'm like, oh my gosh, I gotta get. I was lucky to ride it 3 times. And what sealed me is I rode with Austin from D Road Coasters. Go check out his channel on YouTube. And we rode back seat at night. And that is what really
that's what scored it for you.
Yeah, and it's shorter than Steel Vengeance, but every element is just
so
flawless.
perfect. There's nothing needed that you don't get that's there. My ride count on it, I think, past 400 now.
Oh my gosh.
It is. Well, remember, I did. What did I do on the Past Preview?
Yeah, you did a ton.
I did like almost 50
rides. Then it started raining, I think, right?
Yeah, and I mean, like, I intended just to go and do I don't know 2-3 hours.
I had to like do not disturb my phone.
Because I was being so annoying. Yeah, because I was texting you on every single.
I was doing something dumb around the house, like fixing something or mowing the lawn. I'm like, oh, you know what? This is my life. I'm changing diapers, and you're riding Iron Gwazi.
Yeah, I canceled my day, and I went all day from park open to park close on Past Preview Day, just looping it.
Don't you do work?
It. I mean, like, supposedly I work somewhere, but and I told my assistant to hold my calls for a little bit. No, I love RMCs. I mean,
they're good.
Single rails. I love single. You're not as big of a single rail guy.
I like Wonder Woman. It's so intense.
Which Wonder Woman, by the way?
I'm sorry, Wonder Woman at Fiesta, not the Magic Mountain. Yep. I heard it's better than Jersey Devil. You said that, I've had other friends say that too. So.
5% better, 10% better. We're not talking about like leaps and bounds, but it's better.
Yeah. So. Let's see. What do you think Carowinds' next ride will be? I think it's a water ride. Let's see. Skylar Eisenhower, I think it is. Sorry, I'm horrible with pronouncing words and names. You probably got that from some of my videos. From what I think and what I'm hearing is 2024 will be a water ride of some kind.
You've mentioned that many times in many videos.
I know, but it's like you have to. There's not a lot of
water rides, right? So,
and Rip Roaring Rapids has been sitting there empty now for like since 2018. I think that some of the boats have been moved to other parks in the chain, so I don't see that ride coming back. So I'm very excited to come down and figure out what's up.
So we got another person that's doing the spamming of the same question. So let's get it. If you could, this is a what if now. If you could change one thing in the entire history of amusement industry, what would you change and why?
I saw that.
So going all the way back to like the 1200s.
I'm going to
anything in the entertainment.
I'm going to
industry.
make it the first thing that came to my mind. I'm trying to cheat out this question is
knights, right? You would change the way that knights did combat back in the Middle Ages.
No.
So for entertainment,
I would change the way Six Flags ran Six Flags Ohio and Worlds of Adventure. That park was really cool to me, really special to me. I always started high school.
What could they have done differently?
I started high school in 1999, and then I found out about all the new rides coming. I said, Dad, we got to go there. We went there in 2000. I was blown away, and I've been to Cedar Point many times, and Kings Island, of course. But I just felt like that park was so special, and it's more just emotional to me, I guess, because I really went there every single year. X Flight opened and all the other stuff. Like,
so what would you have changed to make it different then? I assume you mean you would want to keep it open, right?
Yeah, like 100%. Keep it open and just really.
So how could that have been accomplished?
I mean, the name is phenomenal. Worlds of Adventure. That's a destinational theme park name, like Islands of Adventure. So and the concept was great. It had everything you could possibly want for anyone: water park, animals, rides. And so I would have changed, management. Obviously, that's really what messed up that park, unfortunately. So, but yeah, I think
so you change the management then.
I would change. There's a lot of things with the management, and as far as other history, I wouldn't change a thing. You know why? Because I'm living, and we all are now too. Because everyone's on this chat loves roller coasters, and we're living at a great time. Because
it's a golden age, isn't it?
We can have. I mean, again, Millennium Force opened in 2000, and I was like 19. No, I was 17. So I was so excited to be able to ride this roller coaster and to see all this stuff get built, where you had, the bigger rides being built. You saw Raptor open up, then, the Batman, the ride open. It's like, oh my God, this is new technology.
Yeah.
And to those of you who are, 10, 12, 13, 14, where all this stuff was built before you're ever born, like, it's just cool for my generation to see like the transformation of everything from where it started to where it is now.
Well, think about it. When you and I first became adults, so right out of high school.
I'm not an adult.
Okay. When we became non-minors, right? When we came out of high school, Arrows were the most extreme rides out there.
Yep.
I mean,
thank God they didn't build that pipeline coaster.
Yeah, I mean, but think how much has changed just in those a little bit over 20 years.
No, it has. I mean, it really has. I mean, I rode Vortex at Kings Island. That was crazy, back then, as well as Adventure Express. And when you're younger, like, these are bigger rides, and Corkscrew at Cedar Point was my first coaster that went upside down 3 times. Like, there's a lot of different situations.
My first upside down coaster was a boomerang.
You love boomerangs.
And
I'm going to go by some people
real
fast. I know a lot of the same people comment on my video, so thank y'all so much. But let's see. Robert Polk, you live 20 miles from where Balboa Island was. That's so cool. Hope you're doing well, buddy. Hey, it's Vince. Thanks for always commenting. Really messed up at Geauga Lake. Yes, 100%. I will say Six Flags really ran that to the ground. Cedar Fair could have done a better job. Yes.
Well, they sold it though.
I know.
So, I mean, is it more their fault then?
I know.
Okay.
It's just it stinks. So Geauga Lake was really a great a great park. So again, let us know. He's here for the next few days. We're going to be doing other videos. So is anything you want to see Matt and I talk about, go on to the community tab on my page, and where it says about this live stream today, just write down, hey, here's my idea. We'll look it over because I really like doing this. We're going to do about another 10 or 15 minutes of this because I'm enjoying this. Is that cool with you?
Yeah, works for me.
I know you're about to go to a hotel.
Well, I've got hours of work to do after this, so it doesn't really matter. Next good question we have here. Do you believe Intamin will create a hybrid coaster similar to RMC's?
I think yes, because here's why.
Okay.
Intamin is doing everything other coaster manufacturers are as of late, but they're doing it the Intamin way, like the single rail.
Mm-hmm.
Next thing you know, Intamin has a single rail, and it launches you. And then they're doing the Power Splash models just after Mach. So I think there's nothing on the table that Intamin will not do, and that's why I always like Intamin, because it's like they're just out there to do crazy stuff. So I definitely feel like Intamin There's no boundaries with it.
Yeah,
Remember,
they don't seem super innovative, but they are really good at taking somebody else's concept and then perfecting it.
Correct. And one thing I really, really like is real fast, Skylar. Yes, good night to you as well. Yes, let's hopefully see me at Carowinds. And
shout out to Gunner Moose. Thank you for your super chat.
Thank you. Appreciate that. But as far as we had to talk, we're at Valley Fair. A Wild Thing, and that's actually a pretty good Morgan hypercoaster. I really enjoy that for the most part. But what if RMC, this is a question for you guys now, what if RMC would start converting old steel hypercoasters? Remember we had that conversation because the supports are just like the wood supports. You know, as far as the trusses go and everything else, like
they're over-engineered.
Could it be possible?
Yeah.
I think it could. I mean, I think that would be really kind of interesting. Just imagine RMC and Wild Thing making it a little taller and having a giant stall right after the first drop. And oh gosh, come on.
I mean, RMC is going to have to do something because there's only so many old convertible junked wood rides to convert. Like even if they got another 20 of them, once those 20 are done, what are they going to do after that? So there has to be a business model somewhere else.
What was Gunner's question?
It wasn't. It was just a thank you.
Oh, so thank you.
That's why I shouted out.
Thank you so much, Gunner. I appreciate that.
Yep.
Let's see here. Holiday World's next coaster prediction. Thunderbird opened in 2015. I think it cost just over $20 million. That was a huge, huge investment for them. So I definitely see something coming. Obviously, COVID really messed up everything as far as like the years planned out ahead. So I could see a family coaster coming, maybe like a spinning coaster of some sorts. I could also see a thrill coaster. I would love like a hyper coaster, even like a mini hyper. You know, Mock Rides and Intimate have these mini hypers, but then again, is that really marketable? You know, would that really bring people in? Probably not.
It's a hard sell.
So I definitely feel as if Holiday World could build something, but I feel like they'll probably play it safer this time with more of a family friendly. But God, Thunderbird's so good.
Yeah. It's a great ride.
I've only been on it a few times, and it's great. I've never been on a Voyage at Night. Don't hate me. I know. I
feel it's a little bit over. I think it's a little overhyped.
I need to go out to their big coaster event.
Yeah.
Eventually.
All right. So a couple people have asked us about Six Flags New Orleans, about either they've heard it might be coming into a theme park or
that the land that the park sits on, unfortunately, will never be a park again due to how close it is to the flooding. That's from what I've heard.
Well, so there was a company that signed under contract with the city because the city owns the land to redevelop it into multi-use area. But if you had been watching the news about it or the local news, that they already defaulted on that plan and that company is not putting the money into it. So it's probably going to go back to the city having a gigantic dump for a while. It's not a good location.
They film movies there and stuff too,
like
so they're
zombie
using that.
movies.
Yeah.
So
and they had an NF video. Leave Me Alone was filmed there. And funny story about NF video for the Leave Me Alone is I was a part. I told you this last night. My son was watching the video, but my wife and I got invited to be a part of the video as an extra. But unfortunately, we just had Mason. We didn't have a babysitter, so we couldn't go. And I was so mad. We got invited to be a part of the When I Grow Up video and the Leave Me Alone video. And unfortunately, due to having the kid and no babysitter here with parents being close by, we couldn't make it. And one of my big life regrets.
Well, do you think El Toro reopen for 2023?
I think so, just because that is the big money maker for that park. Like that is the best coaster there, hands down. I feel like Six Flags is going to do Six Flags things with it and just put a Band-Aid over it, unfortunately. And I really wish Six Flags would do the Heidi Park route with their Colossus and just get all new track manufactured. I would love to see that. But I feel like it could definitely open up 2023. I think that's probably a 70% chance of it opening up then over 2024 or anything like that. So I definitely think so.
Okay.
Yes, to the press penguin son. You guys already talked about Top Door Dragster at IAAPA. Yes, we already covered all that. Basically, to give you a quick rundown, is Zamperla could be involved with Dragster. I mean, I think it's going to be more of a joint effort from different coaster manufacturers to come in.
So you really think it's a joint? You think multiple?
It could be. I mean, it could be.
Well, anything could.
I just don't think Zamperla is going to be the sole manufacturer of redoing Dragster. I think that just you're asking for a lot, because a lot of parks from my sources don't like working with Zamperla because of whatever reason it is. So again, I have a lot of stuff that I know I just can't publicly speak on.
Yeah.
So it just comes down to it where it's kind of tough sometimes. I love the new Schwarzkopf Wildcat, Stephen Boshears, I think it is. Sorry if I pronounced your name wrong. I love it. I think it's a great idea. I really enjoyed Wildcat at Cedar Point, so I'm all for bringing these new coasters back that, are very much similar to roller coasters of 30, 40 years ago, where we can ride with our family, our friends, and experience the ride. This Wildcat at Cedar Point was always pretty wild, especially how fast you slammed into the brakes at the end of the ride. Holy crap, that was crazy.
Schwarzkopfs are still good rides today.
They are.
That's a crazy
thing. Mindbender. 6 Flags screwed that one up.
Yeah.
I haven't been on it yet, the new trains, but you said it's horrible, and I've had other friends say it was.
Yeah,
that was so good.
That's so good. It went from being so good to being very mediocre, unfortunately. Not necessarily bad, but now you got to go to Shockwave.
I know.
6 Flags Over Texas. One of my best rides. One of my favorites, as I already didn't claim it earlier in my list of favorites.
Brian Hilko, I think. Sorry again. What do you think Six Flags Great America's next coaster will be? I just made a video on this a few days ago. I definitely feel like either two coasters would fit the park the best, whether they go the direction or not. Who knows? Depends how much money they want to spend. But a B&M dive or a single rail, I think both of those would do really well for Great America and Chicago, in my opinion. Right there in the center of the park where the go-kart is, the old river battle ride, and those 3 little kid rides. Like, that was prime. They need a coaster in the center of the park.
Okay. How many more questions can you commit to? 2 more? 3 more?
I'm going to go for a few more minutes.
Okay. Let's go controversial, right? Whereas we're closing out here. Does Six Flags need a new CEO, in your opinion?
I like a lot of.
Realize he's probably watching this right now, so just be careful with what you say. So
I like a lot of the things he's done.
Okay.
I think he pulled the Band-Aid off too quickly for a lot of these things to get really processed from the GP standpoint, from the park goer standpoint, and the coaster community, of course. So I like a lot of things he's done. There's more I don't like. So I feel like there's better people out there for the job, but I am very curious to see how he responds the next year from now, over the next year, to see exactly what he might do, what he might not do. Definitely think let's just say this. He's growing on me, especially now that they announced today that they're adding new rides and coasters from IAAPA. They're signing contracts. So we'll see.
I think he's been great for investors, and that's his job.
Correct. So. We the Coasters, what's up, dude? Great riding Velocicoaster with you, brother. Hope you're well. Depressed Penguin Son again. Thought about working with video sponsors. I know El Toro Ryan does. I was actually just talking to Matt about that. I do get a couple of emails every so often about video sponsors, and what that is games or a different type of product will pay you money to be basically give them a shout out on the video. And I totally am okay doing it to a point, but a lot of times to me it seems like it's something you scamish at times, though.
You want to believe in what you're promoting.
Correct. Yeah. And also I want to make sure I'm not getting scammed.
So
I don't want to get scammed at all.
Yeah.
But please enter your PayPal account for this or whatever. I don't trust a lot of things. So I have thought about it, and I definitely would be open to it. So, and a lot of times they pay, decent amount of money, so that helps feed the bills or pay the bills and feeds the kids and makes the wife happy. So it will be.
What will Hershen's big first investment in Kentucky Kingdom be, in your opinion? A new trash can?
Good question. Good question. I think they're kind of feeling how that market is right now because they have not announced anything for next year.
They haven't done anything really.
Nothing.
Yeah.
And have you been there recently?
I was there. I only got there twice this last season.
So was it a huge change at all, or does it feel like you're Kentucky?
It didn't feel like any different, to be honest.
Yeah. So I think they have the intention to do well, but I also feel like this could be a Darien Lake all over again, where they kind of own it for a while, then kind of back out. I hope that's not the case, especially because man, Ed Hart, like he put his love, he grinded that park like crazy, and to see what he brought that park back. Not only making Kentucky Kingdom the first time around, but bringing it back to be arguably better. I mean, think about it.
Yeah, I'd say
it's just crazy. And then you sell it off to Hershen, and then it's like, I feel like I think they'll add stuff to it. I think that you'll definitely see, what would be great there would be a Dragonfly or a Family Vekoma inverted coaster. But it also is time for a thrill ride because they had, what's the wood coaster? I've not been on it yet. The Family Wood Gravity Group. I can't think of the name.
I can't think of the name either.
But anyways, I could definitely see them. Now, they do have the airport nearby, so it's very hard, and it restricts them exactly what they can build as how tall.
And they don't own the land either.
They don't own the land, so it is. There's a lot of hard. Ways, corners to cut through to get something. But they were supposed to get the Raptor. Apparently, that went to to Silverwood. So that was before Hershen. So I definitely feel like they could get something. I don't know. It won't be as elaborate and themed like Dollywood or Silver Dollar City as of now. But I think the main thing is Kentucky Flyer. Thank you. I think the main thing is trying to get the land, try to buy the land.
They're not going to be able to. It's owned by the county and it's for the fair.
I don't know.
That's so expensive. I just don't think that's realistic.
It's like Elitch Gardens.
Yeah, it is.
I don't.
I just any of those government private company collabs are just collaboration with a government entity is so horrible for business.
Yeah,
and you can't make money the same way.
T3 has not been in operation very much, so I think
I've gotten to write it like once in the last 3 years because it's always
okay. Let me ask you this, because I'm tired of answering questions.
Okay,
what would you, if you were in charge of Kentucky Kingdom, what would you add as a coaster within their price point in your way of thinking?
Well, I'm a businessman first, and I probably would put really cheap stuff in there because you could then promote it to bring in more people and would give you more throughput in dollars. But not being able to own the land, not being able to develop, and always having the government hanging over top of you would not be anything that I would be super interested in putting big dollars into. And I think that's the reason why nobody, frankly, has. And even Ed Hart, I mean, he's a businessman. He even said like he was just there to get it back and operational, and they sold it off to the best venture that he could get to that would probably keep it around. But it probably makes enough money that it's a cash cow for them, but I wouldn't put big dollars into it personally. So
maybe they'll. There's a lot of different coaster models that can go there. I mean, they definitely could use a launch coaster. They don't have one.
Yeah, so much money.
So something like maybe the new Vekoma style, the new Vekoma Boomerang. Have you seen that one in China?
Yeah,
that thing looks legit. That was not a launch, but like something like that where, I definitely could see them potentially. And I think to Matt's point is if I was owning the park, I would think about future of maybe once, let's say, God forbid, Kentucky Kingdom would close, but whatever investments I make in the park now, I could sell off to other parks.
You never get your money back on that sort of stuff.
Nothing at all.
Like no, you won't get your money back that you put into it.
I know, but
so at least that's kind of like buying something expensive and expecting like, well, I can get some value out of it's used, but that's only a fraction of the money you put into it. So it's hard to use as a justification for putting big money into something.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I definitely feel like that park is done. I really like Kentucky Kingdom. Definitely, if you're going Holiday World, stop it there. It's a great little park.
But you mentioned the exact reason why there's a problem with it. Holiday World is right down the street. Kings Island's just a little ways up the street. You've got two
Yes.
big dogs.
Hoosier Rail Coaster is a girth slider would be perfect for Kentucky Kingdom. How about like a launched Infinity? Like
I think they're too expensive. That's the problem. Oh, it'd be great. It'd be a great ride there, but I mean, it's way too much money for them to afford.
But I love the idea. Yeah. I would do it. Yeah. Coaster fan, tell us what you think. Your Kentucky Kingdom's your home park. Definitely want to hear that.
While they're mentioning that, your thoughts on Indiana Beach? Have you been?
Man, I went there.
I know you have.
I went there back in 2010 with the girlfriend of not my wife, this crazy girl. I shouldn't have been dating her probably. And we went and the the weird one, the caged. Mm-hmm. What was it? What's it called?
Mystery.
No, not mystery.
Oh
gosh, I can't think of it on live. It's all
too much is going on,
but
right?
I've never been. That ride was closed. I was so mad. It's so unique.
Oh,
but the haunted house is phenomenal.
Mystery Mountain, right?
No.
What is it called?
Lost Coaster
of Superstition Mountain.
There we go. Thank you. Yep. Bukum Dukum. I can't talk. Bukum Dukum.
I think it's Bukum Dukum.
I'm sorry. I'm been up since 6 a.m. here. Anyways, definitely like Indiana Beach. Love what they're doing to the park.
What's your favorite ride there then? How about that at Indiana Beach?
I really liked Cornball.
Yep.
It's really good. I thought Hoosier Hurricane was really good as well.
Really good. Yep.
And Steel Loco or not, whatever.
Steel Hog.
Steel Hog. Like it was
great.
Okay. It was fun.
Really?
I liked it.
Okay.
It was definitely like, oh crap, what's this? So I enjoyed it. I liked El Loco better in Vegas. Mm-hmm. That's a really good ride.
I always find it funny when they name the coaster the model's name, right? Yes. So funny. At least you remember it later. What is it? Oh, it's the El Loco model.
It's great.
So you like El Loco over Steel Hog?
Yes, 100%.
Okay, I like Steel Hog over El Loco.
I think it's because you can't see what the layout does on El Loco without watching a video of it. And Adventure Dome is it's indoors, obviously, but the rock work, it really kind of there's a mystery behind it.
Okay.
So you go up and you're looking at the ceiling, and then all of a sudden you go down and it's like, where am I going next? Steel Hog, it's a real rectangle. Mm-hmm. You see everything. You kind of get a glimpse of what's about to happen.
Okay.
We went to a park in Wisconsin called Little America. And I like to call it Little America. And it was bizarre. And we rode that one roller coaster. Well, I don't know what it's called. I can't think of the name. But the one that went down and around. He's pulling it up. I'm horrible at this, guys. It's my first time ever doing live, so bear with me here.
Swiss Toboggan.
That's right.
Because that's the Swiss Toboggan model.
Yeah, it was the most bizarre, roughest coaster. Maybe not the roughest, but it was crazy. And I really was.
And who's it made by? Chance Rides.
Yeah, that's right.
So, and you know what? It is the forefather to one of your favorite models.
Hyper GTX.
It is. Yeah. It's a hyper. It's not really a Hyper GTX,
yeah,
but it's the forebearer of it, right?
Yeah, I definitely really liked that little park. That was fun.
Yeah.
And that train ride that lasted like 18 miles. It's crazy. Yeah. I thought we were
I think it was actually 2 miles.
Thank God we had the roof off. Yeah. We would have been dead.
Yeah.
From sun, it was crazy hot.
And you love the haunted house there too.
The haunted house.
Go watch the video on it if you want to see his comments on everything.
It was great.
Oh, and how about the guys hand breaking us on the wooden ride?
Yes, that was phenomenal. Yeah, great little park. That was a great little park. All right, a few more questions. I have to go be dad here soon. Well, go to bed so I can be dad tomorrow. Did you see Wildcat's new train at IAAPA, Ant Coaster Cal? Yes, looks phenomenal. Absolutely love it. I really feel like that's going to be a really underrated coaster. So I'm definitely excited about that. Do more live streams. Thank you. I will. Thank you. This is kind of fun. I actually enjoy this.
And you've done great.
I try. I'm trying.
I mean, you've held.
My problem is, if you guys don't know, is I talk really fast. And before doing YouTube, I never really had really focused on my speech, because my wife would be like, you talk so damn fast. Anyways, it comes down to
It's
where
your stream. You can say what you want.
I get so excited and passionate about it where I just like talk and I need to like remember to slow down and enunciate and just kind of pump the brakes a little bit. But anyways, it's fun. Jackson Brinkley, your setup looks sick. Is that poster of Fury a part of the Carowinds vintage collection? Should I get one? Made to Thrill did both of these here. So the Beast down here and the Fury one. So check out Made to Thrill. And if you buy merch, I mean, check his merch out too, and then check mine out too as well. Favorite defunct credit from Polar Productions, The Villain, 6.5 Worlds of Adventure. Love The Villain. No, I'm sorry. Wood, Steel, Volcano. Volcano, 100%. Volcano, honestly, is like definitely my top 20.
Over Top Thrill Dragster?
100%.
For a dead credit?
100%. Well,
Okay.
that's not really dead. We don't know.
It's a dead credit. You can't.
If I had to ride one last time between Volcano and Dragster, I would go Volcano, I think.
Really?
I think. I love
Now,
because it's so different, right? Because it's an inverted launch.
Yeah, it's so
and then
different.
you hit that second launch, and then you
there's
go for
nothing
the
else like it
inversions.
too either.
There's nothing.
yeah.
And then you have the 3 barrel rolls. And then one thing I think is really overlooked on Volcano is the drop into the tunnel at the end. Back row, I mean, you're flying. It's really good. So yeah, that's a tough question. I don't know.
Dude, now you have the rollback credit.
I do
At Volcano.
That does.
Right?
I've not had a rollback.
But
on
you
Volcano.
don't have the rollback
unless
credit.
they have a vertical spike on Dragster, then they'll be the.
Yeah, but that won't be. You won't be a Top Thrill Dragster credit. Now I am the inverse of you. I have the rollback credit of Top Thrill Dragster, but not at Volcano.
How was it? Good? Is it great?
It was. I have 3 on it actually.
And
it was. Yeah, well, because early on there was a lot of rollbacks. You roll back like
that's true.
I don't know, like once out of every 20 maybe or something. So I got 2 very early on, and I got 1 pretty recent, like I think 2 seasons ago.
True.
And they're always great.
Yeah,
because everybody's freaked out because you're the only one in the train that knows this is normative.
Yeah.
Right. And my last rollback was amazing. We got like to the top and the front of the car. I was in the very back, and the very top of the front train it crested. And it slowed, and I knew it wasn't going over, but everybody's freaking out, like, "Oh, we might not make it." And we start rolling back, and then like the women started screaming, and then the guys started screaming too because it really creeped slowly because we almost had enough momentum to make it, and it was amazing.
That's
and
great.
You'll never get that, unfortunately, because it's dead.
No,
it's a dead credit.
I know.
So that's your.
Yes, but speaking of rollback, I went with East Coasters. My 2 good friends, Sam and Joe from East Coasters. We went to Carowinds back in, I think it was like April or March. Anyways, I was on the way back from Florida, and we rode Fury, and it was a very cold spring day. It was really windy, and we rode Fury on the back row, and it felt fine until the second or third low to the ground turn. I felt something was off, and I've never really felt that on a roller coaster before. Like something's not right. And as we went around through the treble clef, it really slowed down to the point where, oh my God, I was like, are we going to make it? Literally, are we going to make it? We all looked at each other like, this is not right.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my gosh. Because I'm thinking in my head, my wife, my phone's in my pocket, my zipper pocket. I can't get to it. If we would roll back, we'd be stuck there for hours. My wife has my kid. She's pregnant. Like there's so many things going through my mind. Like, how do I reach her to let her know? I can throw my keys out to her from the riser by the parking lot. And next thing you know, it barely made it through.
Barely. Oh wow.
But then I'm praying to God, please let the trim brake be off on that airtime hill before the helix. And I'm thinking, if it's on, there's no way we're going to get through it. And thank God it's off. And so it turned back.
Is that a sensor on that one, or is it selectable?
Sometimes it hits worse than others.
Okay.
But usually it's always on.
Okay.
But sometimes it doesn't. But as soon as the train came back in the station, Claudius works at Fury, fantastic guy.
Shout out to Claudius.
Great friend of ours.
Yep.
He has a great team over there and everything else. But he was there, and I yelled to him from the block break. I said, Claudius, close. And he trusts me because he knows I have 8 years in operation and working on rides as well. And we pull in the station. I said, look, like, you cannot do this. Like, don't send another train. We almost had a rollback, like literally almost had a rollback. Checked out East Coasters on their their YouTube and the Fury rollback. And there's a live video of it. And you can tell that it is slower. I will say on the video, it does look faster than what it really was. But it really is cool. And another question here is, what's the link to your merchandise? It's it's themeparkmerch.com. I did have themeparkpredictions.com, but I switched it to theme park merch. That's really good for Google, I think. Theme park merch, and that's pretty exciting. Have ever been to a full contact haunted house, Brandon, from Ant Coaster Cal? No, I have not. That would be pretty wild. I would be open for it. I built haunted houses here for 7 years in my backyard. It was definitely not full contact, so I love anything scary, anything haunted house. All right, let's do it.
I have this year, and I accidentally got full contact at a no contact place. Not from me accidentally, from the scare actors accidentally.
Let's do like one more. We gotta get going.
Bigwig 556. I'm wondering if that 556 is 556 NATO. Anyway, I'll drop from there. He heard a rumor.
Oh,
RMC T-Rex coming to Magic Mountain. He has a friend who works at Six Flags who told him that could be the future replacement for Viper. What do you think? Just hearing that off the top of your head, what's your analysis?
I made other videos in the past where
I know you have.
Viper is going to be. It has to be on the top.
We all know even if it's not today, it's coming soon because
I would love to see
though
is like them to do a Fans Revenge.
Just
imagine, that first drop and then just hyper layout afterwards. Like, God,
we already said earlier in this live stream, RMC could do that.
They could, or that too. Yeah. So I definitely see that possibility of that happening. I always thought I had Escape Designs design me a really cool mock hypercoaster that would have been, I think it was a Giga actually, but it was really price point to really not be that long and really not that high off the ground to cut down the cost. So Six Flags could afford it. But I definitely feel as if there could be something big there. I mean, that's always been a staple ride for that park because it's right in the front. And that location up on the hill there really is great. So I definitely feel like if something goes there, whether it's an Axis coaster or a T-Rex or a hyper coaster, that's a prime location for it. I would love to see it.
So, by the way, if anybody's name's Matt or Matthew, I'm going to read your comments apparently because I always see all of them scrolling by. So I'm going to get this one out quick. I'm going to modify my inverts. Raptor is actually probably my second or first favorite one because it's so smooth.
I do like Raptor.
And
Raptor
why was it not on your list though, Brandon? Did you like me forget about it?
No, I really like Raptor. I just like Afterburn's Batwing.
Okay.
And I love Alpenguy's first drop. If Raptor had a better first drop, then I think I would like it more. But
so the extremeness trumps how smooth and perfect or perfection the rails are.
Man, that's tough. Raptor's so good. I brought it when it opened in '94. Like, I love Raptor.
Where is the one part that it's not perfectly smooth?
Right before the final break.
That shimmer right at the very end, just like that.
Hurts
every time. It
hurts. That's so tough. Maybe I should just do a video of ranking my B&M inverts. Like take my time out and rank which ones I like best. Because I've been on most of them except Flight Deck at California's Great America than anyone overseas, unfortunately.
Okay.
Real fast. And Coaster Cal. I have a few POVs for my haunted house. Just go to my channel, check out Backyard Haunt. I did one for 2018, 19, and 20.
You didn't do?
I did one last year too. I did one, yeah. But
it
wasn't as long as I did in my garage, and I didn't have my buddy helping me, so I did it all by myself. So
got many people agreeing and disagreeing that Afterburn is better than Raptor. So, final question since we got to roll. What are your favorite models? Rank your models. So not the rides, not the summation of all
Okay.
different rides.
Okay.
Give me your ranking on your favorite models.
I would say the hybrid.
Is this your top, or is this
Probably, because
Okay.
there's so many top. If I had to pick, I would say hybrid, because I'm going off my top 3,
Okay.
right? So Iron Gwazi is my top coaster, but my top 10, I have a lot of RMCs.
Mhm.
Intamin, I have a lot of Intamins too, but they don't have as many rides like Velocicoaster, right? I would say a hyper hybrid, so that classifies as. Now, I think. Okay, let me go back. I'm sorry. I think I love hypercoasters. They're just fun. The airtime, the
Specifically,
speed.
are you saying specifically the hyper
Just-
model from B&M, or are you saying
Just
hypers in general?
In general.
Okay.
In general. Do we,
But that's not a model, though.
Okay.
So
Oh my gosh,
we're
I can't
asking
with
for
this.
models.
Oh,
So you
guys.
could say the word hyper, but you mean B&M hypers.
We've been doing this for an hour and 40 minutes. We still have 47 people on here.
Yeah.
We should go to the 0.
I don't know if that's good for trying to improve your algorithm scores, but yeah.
Anyways, real fast, I would have to say my favorite coaster model would be a RMC hybrid.
Okay.
After that, because there's so many of them that I love.
Okay.
And then after that would be like an Intamin multi-launch, because I love Maverick and Velocicoaster, phenomenal rides. I think I would reverse that if I could get overseas eventually and ride like Taiga and Tron.
This isn't what if. This is what is your
not
favorite.
Tron, but what's the one over in Fantasia? Terran. Sorry. I would say RMC hybrid, Intamin, and then
Intamin makes tons of models. Which Intamin model?
Intamin LSM.
LSM. Okay.
Yeah. What? Just Maverick? That's LSM, or is it a different kind of line? I know they had the LIMs.
Yeah,
I mean that an Intamin Blitz. How about
the
that?
Blitz? Okay.
Then I would say Giga.
Okay.
Because I really like Millennium. That's tough.
The Intamin Giga, you're saying?
Oh, now I'm being specific.
Yeah, it's what models?
I would say a B&M. I don't really care for Orion, so I'm just joking. We can go on for 20 minutes about Orion. I'm surprised you ever brought that up, actually.
It doesn't bring as much good
no, but I think
quality any longer.
I think hybrid, Intamin LSM or multi-launch, and then a hyper coaster would be then followed by like a good old GCI wooden coaster.
Okay,
like that.
So I didn't hear single rail in there. Anyway,
not yet.
Okay.
I like it. I just feel like RMC really needs to work on their reliability of them and the comfort of the trains, and just there's a lot of factors in that too.
Okay. So mine, single rail.
Yep.
RMC hybrid.
Yep.
Time travel model.
Yep.
But extreme spinner by Mach. And then, I mean, Hyper and Giga from B&M, I consider the same model. That's just height. So I would a combination on that. Then it's got to be Intamin's. I mean, what's the model for Intimidator or I-305?
Giga.
Is it called the Intamin Giga model?
I don't. That's Speed Coaster, I think.
Whatever. I mean,
Mega Coaster.
I mean, how many other ones do they have, right? So it's that. So
yeah.
I don't know. After that, I love everything. Schwarzkopf's is probably on my list. I love Schwarzkopf loopers. So,
but I'm
such a model.
You have a lot of different favorites.
I do. So. I have like 1,000 favorites. But I mean, RMC, like I said, RMCs are on top.
Yeah.
Because I love single rails. I love their hybrids.
Anyways, really one last question, because I know Dr. Puffin. What is your favorite song by NF and why? There's so many good songs that NF creates. I love each and every one. But right now, I really like NF Drifting. It's just called Drifting. And I really like Hate Myself is really just a really powerful song. And Paid My Dues. Paid My Dues is a great hype song. Fantastic. And the video is really cool as well. Anyways, this is Matt. I'm Brandon. Theme Park Predictions and more. Thank you guys for so much. Thank you for taking the time. Thank you for the super chats. Thank you for checking out my merch, themeparkmerch.com. Thank you for every view. Honest to God, it means the world to me. I could not be doing this without you. I'm here to create positive message in the coaster community, and I love everything I do with you guys and all the interaction. I just wish I had more time to like respond to every comment. It's just hard for me to do that, because literally I do not stop. If you were an outsider watching my lifestyle and a daily routine, you'd be like, oh my God, this guy does not stop. And it's good because I work, dad. And then
how long did we drive on the
husband.
car when we went from Great America over to Minneapolis? Was that like 4 hours straight?
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a nonstop, like this live stream. I even said at the time, we should have live streamed
We
it.
should have.
Yeah.
We should have.
We could have.
Next trip.
Yeah, because like
next trip.
This conversation just happened in that car for that whole time.
We could have done like
nonstop.
We could have live streamed between each of our 8 parks we went to.
Yeah.
So anyways, I'll definitely be doing this again more. Maybe we do another one before you leave.
Sure, if you want.
So, but anyways, thank you all so much. Greatly appreciate it. Have a good night. And remember, think positive, smile today, keep riding coasters. I'm going to bed. I'm tired. My voice is out.
All right. God bless.
Peace.
We got to hit
Oh,
that stream.
I got to end. And cool.